Yes, we are here. We are here. We are here. We're here. Oh, we are here. We're just we're just gonna scan the body. There is a question of what is happening to the body. Mm, Higher frequency has been coming into the body more and more frequently. And this is normal, this is fine, this is of purpose and of service. Uh, this is observing many people who have been profoundly triggered into stepping up into their empowerment. So the vehicle has been very, very, very clearly being given guidance into where people are at individually. So she is having to forcibly be trusting her intuition through her communication interactions. It's just she is advancing, like all of humanity is advancing, and she is just more aware of people's behaviors and attitudes and needs. And so she is just reflective of seeing how people are deeply struggling still for various reasons as they are on their 3D journey to expand their experiences and overcome them and master them. So there is much to be said for what she is seeing, and it's a true representation of what humanity is having to experience as a majority of its whole, as more and more people are advancing into their awakenedness. People are awakening to many things. The ripple effect is rippling out and it is reverberating through all. And everyone who is communicating and connecting to all is feeling this change, this shift in tide, this shift of energy, this enhancement. While it still looks very scary for some and annoying for some and agitating for some, as you're still waiting and watching rest of humanity awaken up to itself. There is so much to awaken to. Where does it end? It is not simply waking up to one situation, it is waking up to all situations, which is the bigger challenge. Once you start noticing one inconsistency of the truth you have been told and guided to blindly trust, the more you are following through with this journey of discovery, of the awakening, it is so vast. You get triggered emotionally in many, many, many aspects of it because it is in all areas. And as you just feel like you're getting used to one concept and trying to balance yourself, you discover a whole new bunch of other things that are making you realize once again you truly have been given disinformation most of your adult lives and childhood lives. As you are exploring this, waking up to these things now is not just as simple as guessing you've been given disinformation. You have to process all of it and find balance and neutral, and sometimes people are getting stuck. You are only as good as the perspective you have. And while we don't like to say things are good or bad, your density is a reflection on what you are having as a sticking point. Many people are aware of the goings on that's in this planet, but there are so many levels and layers to this. It can be a journey just on its own to focus and navigate. But do you really need to know the truth of all of the details, or can you just accept that this is all for the awakening, for humanity to be aware that there is something else going on? We understand it looks very scary in many areas because it doesn't look like there is any hope there. It looks like it is doom and gloom. And it is going to continually ramp up and get even more absurd, even more concerning for those who cannot see the bigger perspective, the bigger purpose of why everyone needs to be awoken to the truth, to find their breaking point of not going with the systems that are clearly corrupted. At what point do you need to stand up to your own truths? At what point do you need to push back against those systems? Everyone has a different threshold. Everyone has different roles. If you're a leader within your family and community and circle of friends, and you're supposed to guide them through all of this without fear, how are you doing with that? It's a very challenging role to be the leader, because it is a lot of pressure and responsibilities to not lose your footing but still move forward. There is many obstacles when you are leading the way, and it is a delicate fine balance, because if you're too forceful, many will resist that. You have to go at your own pace and be publicly showing where your journey is. You can't privately, as a leader, go and hide as you quietly behind the scenes do your own healing and then try to encourage others when you are at what you perceive as a new healing rate. Most influencers are meant to have been very public with your own growth and their own journey, and they're supposed to evolve in front of their viewers and their followers to see how it is capable for one to change and expand from point A to point B. But many influencers have this belief system that they already know everything, and so they're stale from the get-go and they do not expand. And they certainly do not show vulnerability, and they certainly do not try to be human and fragile with your emotions as you are the roller coasters. Many people want to show how unfair life is and how unjust life is, and be angry and pissed off with that. And that's all they are, is their angry, pissed off stepping stone, which is a very valid one. You can't evolve emotionally and maturely if you are jumping and skipping important stepping stones. You need to be able to have all of the phases of your stepping stones to honor your growth and journey. Of course, there are people who do not need certain stepping stones because they have mastered it in other lifetimes. It is not necessary. They don't have to go down the same road. So this is what is sticking for many influencers. They are not able to be the stepping stones for all. They can only be the stepping stones for themselves and any who may have coincidences of the same stepping stones and lessons that they need to experience and expand upon. This is why we've always been telling you to use your own moral compass to find your own connection to self, to be able to navigate yourself moving forward. We have never tried to endorse anyone who has got information that you truly do need. You have it all within you. And so we do see as a collective of the Victorians, as we do see as a collective of the Palladians, there are many collectives here who are seeing their influences from their collectives at various stepping stages and stones, at various stepping stones and stages of their own personal journey. And we have seen many get stuck through their own ego, through their own choices. And that is their own personal journey. There is no point judging them, but there's also no true point in sticking around waiting for your influences to expand when you've already outgrown them. And so you know the ones who give you fear. You know the ones who are stuck. And so while you feel like they are friends because you have given them so much of your time and money and attention, these ones may not be giving you the best service. So we're asking for you to question, where are you getting your information from? Are you still trusting others over yourself? Where are you going with your moral compass? Are you able to discern from your high frequency connections versus your fear connections? Many of you still worry and go into fear when you feel high frequency vibrations because you think somehow you're being psychically attacked or something else. Being a high vibrational person gives you the expansion mind of that you are always protected, so you don't even go into tripping points of worry and fear. And when people trip into worry and fear, it is okay, but that is a clear sign you still need to expand and grow. Many people are holding on to their identities and holding on to their conscious mind, and they are trying to hear what their conscious mind has to say as guidance. And while that is a choice you can make using your free will, you are going to be getting third dimensional at the rate of your lack of inner work and expense of your inner work as your wisdom. Do you want to have wisdom coming from a fear-based source, which is most egos as they are still journeying through advancements of inner work? Can you really rely on yourself to give you pure information because you have stepped your ego aside and connected into your higher dimensional guides? Many people who hope they have are merely just talking to themselves through ego. That is okay, but you will find that you're getting more lost. And this is why you start wanting to listen to the influences to be able to have more guidance. But check your vibrations now. Check your intuition now. Are you still holding on to influences that have outgrown your own range of frequency, vibrational match and information? We're wanting you to be considerate of the time you are spending and focusing on. You really should be spending more time going within and silencing your mind and feeling your own energy frequency than relying on others to be able to give that to you. And we have tried to give you so many guidances and so many ways and approaches to be able to truly tap into oneself. And you know all of the ways that you can do this. You know the ways to use your free will to be able to open up and expand your consciousness, to be able to connect in deeply into your team and channel your team if you choose, if you want to. Many of you know all of this, but yet still have not even tried. And this is a good time to still try. There is much to say here. All is well for humanity as it has been forced into a higher frequency vibration. There is many festive activities coming for many, which is holidays, potentially summer holidays, potentially more connections with families. The end of the year feels exciting for many as it is the excitement of change. The new year often has hopes of new beginnings. And this is exactly what humanity needs to have hope for, new beginnings. You know what we know about new beginnings and what that will really look like for humanity. But right now, as they're focusing on their third dimensional lifestyles and habits and routines, this is a great opportunity for them to have excitement for something new, even though most are not able to really get a full clarity picture of what is truly to come. And that is fine. They don't need to know what is to come. They need to focus and master on the days that they have, to be able to master having moral compasses, to be able to see each other as equals, to be able to have unconditional love for all. There is still so much work that humanity needs to be able to fit into this short period of time that is left for this year. And we encourage all who are still struggling with this to really stop and look and question, why are you holding back? Why are you blocking yourself? Is it still because of judgment or fear? Where is that lack? Where is that disconnect? Or do you have a big inflated ego and think that you are channeling your higher self when it is merely just your ego speaking to yourself? Where are you at with this? Only you can answer this for yourself. You have to have a certain level of inner work maturity to be able to fully step into connecting with us. Not because we don't think that you're worthy, but because it would distract you from doing those stepping stones to be able to master the third dimension. And so we will encourage you all along the way with great stepping stones that you take. You give us more access to be able to help assist you and support you. But there are still people that are disbelieving that we even exist in a higher dimensional realm, supporting you and helping you and guiding and assisting you. And that is okay. But they are making their hard choices. But they're still progressing. We see people who don't even know about us progressing more than those people who assume that they're talking to their own egos, pretending to channel us. Because when you are focusing on just ego in an inflated way, there is truly no expansion, and you're wondering why, and it's irritating to you. There is so much to be said here, and there are so many things that we would like to say. The vehicle has a question because someone has given her information about Antarctica and beings underneath Antarctica reaching out. So we will help with this connection to see what is happening here. It is inner earth beings that are in the location of Antarctica. It is an interesting spot, your location of Antarctica. And it doesn't matter what the shape of that landmass is or the history that has gone on there. These beings are wanting to be helped and supported. They've come out of their slumber. They have effectively shut themselves down, and now they are reawakening as there is more energy and as they have had their mind control removed from certain collectives. They are now being activated to feel themselves. We are using this as an opportunity to be able to connect with them, to be able to see what of assistance they are. They are so weak with remembering who they are that they've merely just sent out an SOS to try and find if there is anyone that can hear them. And so through your human grapevine, we have heard now of these. And so now we are assisting and locating. It is a group. It is a group of beings. And we are asking them when they got there and how. Oh. We see. It was a crash site. They were traveling to this planet, but it was crashed. Their vehicle was crashed. Okay. They do not know what to do with themselves. They were in terror. We have located them now, and we are able to assist them now. But there is also others in this location. And so we will, from the permission of using your free will to help assist, we are scanning now for more. There's many that have come here accidentally, even through certain different portals, and have found themselves stuck here accidentally, but they have been irritated with the frequency of the vibration of the planet that has sort of scrambled their consciousness. They are confused, they feel very discombobulated. So they shut themselves down because they were not able to cope with the frequency. And so now we are able to assist them because they are not so impacted with some certain frequency of negativity. Negativity, that is a judgmental statement, that is a density, that is a unique frequency density that does agitate one's frequency. It is like a bad headache for those who resonate with headaches, but it is so agitating to one's mind, to one's body, that it is overwhelming and they cannot make it stop. And so this is the frequency irritation that they are feeling so discombobulated with, and so they shut themselves down in a meditative state, which is interesting because they sort of got stuck in that, and they have been in hibernation, if you will, for a very long time. Now that this frequency has gone, they have slowly started to awaken to the lack of that frequency, and they're starting to come to they're very disconnected. And so we are assisting them. We have helped them. Their guides and collectives are assisting them to remind them that their journey did not go as planned. The vehicle is wondering why these people were beings, why were these beings not supported before? There was so much going on. There was so much going on. Many that knew that they were traveling and this location actually had exit points, and so there was no one really here to manage them or to worry about them or to seek them. And when you shift out of the body, you were so busy doing other things and moving forward. You trust everyone else is doing their own things and moving forward. It may feel so upsetting for many who are listening to think that you neglect. And it is not a neglect. When you shift on from one life, you've got a whole bunch of other experiences now under your belt, shall we say, that you want to hurry up and start another one and figure out what next. And so throughout time, many have got sidetracked for different reasons. So this happens. You get lost in your missions. And so there is, we ask this is not comfortable for the vehicle. She is asking, where was the guides? Where was the collectives? And we are saying they had chosen to do what they did. They were not asking for our help. They were having their experiences, and while it would seem to be an undesirable experience for you, this is not how we would see it. There's significance in all lessons and experiences, and what they had to endure in those experiences is just more proof and more experiences that we can take to all the collectives and say, this is why we need more harmony, this is why we need more unity, this is why we need to make sure that these things do not occur again and impact others again. Because the true intention of that frequency, that negative frequency, was to do harm, to limit, to block, to disconnect yourselves from your higher selves, from your teams. This is more proof and evidence, if you will, that what we see that is happening on this planet must never be repeated. There's too much great consequences. These lessons don't advance souls. Yes, there's lessons to be had and explored, but now that that has been explored and other collectives will learn from that, that is not something that other collectives would like to experience again. There is no need for it, nor shall it be accepted again. So you can see these things don't keep repeating. We're learning from this. We were going to say we're learning from this mistake in the third dimension on Earth, but that would be incorrect terminology. There is no mistakes that are happening on this Earth. They are very, very, very important lessons. That duality, that pushing you in your moral compass. It doesn't sit right with you what is happening on your planet, because morally it has challenged your very fibers of your essences as you are being pushed and split away further and further away from source energy. This is the extreme lessons that some of you only wished you could have had prior. This is so valuable for you to learn the other side of it. But these lessons are taking a toll on everyone who is supporting this. And you know this. This is not new. We've not just surprised you with this factor. There is so much going on just like this, where it is impacted in every which way possible, limited. And while you have your own personal free will, so does everybody else. And so as they are exercising their rights to have free will, they are doing interesting things that are impacting others. We have limits, and so does humanity, and so does your concept of time. So trust that all will be learnt from this. Nothing will be forgotten. No challenges will be forgotten. No crimes against humanity will be forgotten. It is going to be justice served, lessons served, experiences had. We feel so many of you are so concerned that people who have done crimes against children will get away with it. And we say nothing is being got away with. We know that some of you listening have had things that have been crimes against your own physical bodies, and people got away with it. And we're saying it doesn't just end with your exit point. Lessons are still there. People always will know. This is information that will always be public to you for you to explore with both parties. Remembering some of these are life contracts and some of these are not. Just because you end your lives in exit points or shifts doesn't mean that what has gone on in this lifetime will be erased. It's not just your own personal lifetimes you're worried about, it's all lifetimes. It all turns into an open book to learn and grow from. And so next creators can understand where there should be limits and bounds. It's not to create a very boring, simple life again for your futures because this was too challenging. Mastering the third dimension is very significant for very many reasons, and this is the extremity just before big changes happen. This is the grand finale, as you understand, even with your movies. The grand scenes are always very heightened, and this is certainly the case here, and things will be very heightened. We wanted to also reassure the vehicle. She has always been concerned and somewhat uncomfortable with people who like to do certain jobs to then present themselves to their friends and families as caregivers, gifts to humanity, because they serve others who are less fortunate, either through age or disability. She's always been aware of certain industries which would call for people to promote themselves as good humanitarians because they have compassion for those who are disabled, or the elderly who are incapable of managing their lifestyles and their households and chores, versus the little children and childcare. Well, there are fantastically true, great humanitarians in those roles. These areas and industries have also been prey for those predators who want to do these jobs so they can promote how fantastic they are, and how kind they are, and how of service and duty they are. And you all know the people who do humble things and get on with their jobs, and you also know other people that grandstand their positions and tell everyone they donated money today, they donated blood today, they gave to a homeless person. You know those people who are using their actions to boost up their egos to make themselves look good. They can't see that it is making themselves look like they are seeking attention, approval, and praise. And as soon as you do anything that has that agenda and aspect to it, then your original duty and your original actions have been missed, because your true intentions is something else. That is to be praised for being good, when you know being good is the praise itself, is the upliftment itself. You don't need to have an applause to donate or to be a kind, compassionate humanitarian. But many people think, what is the point of donating to others if there's no gratitude, or if there is no satisfaction or no fanfare? And we say, focus on everything of your actions and why you are doing each individual action. What are you truly seeking? Are you truly trying to help someone out? Or are you trying to look like you are helping someone out? So many people are not noticing their actions and behaviors and what they are doing. They are seeking the results of what they perceive they should be getting after the fact. So, this may not even be you, this may be others that you see, but at least you can identify why they must behave like that, while what they are truly seeking. Being compassionate to people who are less fortunate is a true humanitarian skill. To see everyone as the same and to care for everyone if it's the same. Imagine your favorite influencer, maybe a movie star or a pop singer that you've always loved and been impressed with. They usually have money that goes with that entitlement of your being impressed with them. There may be their skill sets. If you saw them on the streets needing some money, you wouldn't hesitate at all. In fact, you'd over abundantly give to them because you want to impress them by being kind. And yet you judge people who are in that predicament, who you do not know, treating each other as equals and seeing no difference between you and others is a really big step for many. They love their reality TV shows, for example, or the pop stars they grew up with as mere mortals, beyond mere mortals, divine, semi-demigods. You put them on such a pedestal. So who are you still holding on to and putting on a pedestal? And who are you kicking off that pedestal and looking down upon them? And what is that about? Have they given you just information? Have they sold you something that you don't ever truly need? All of these events have given you an example and an experience for you to learn and grow from. Do not be hostile or bitter to anyone. You must be in neutral to all. And the reason why you need to be in neutral to all is to be able to have a more profound connection to us. Because when you hold resentment or bitterness, you lower your frequency quite dramatically until you stop focusing on that frustration. This is why it is so important to be able to get to balance and neutral and above, because you want to connect in with us as much as you can, because we think we're fantastic. We do not even want to be your own influencers. We do not want to be your idols. We want you to grow and expand in your 3D lives, knowing that we are here always for you, but you are making the right choices to empower yourself. You are making the right growth moving forward. Yes, we are your backup dancers, but you are the one that needs to take control and empower yourself and make sure that you are proud of every step of the way. That is the key. Being proud of yourself, knowing that you are doing everything possible to help humanity and yourself, adjusting ego as it needs, feeling the joy, feeling the community, feeling the unity, knowing the difference between empowerment and disempowerment. And we're saying this to yourselves. You often want to empower others, and yet you're still disservicing yourself. You're still disempowering yourself. What's all that about? We're trying to pick up some more fun sayings. We're trying to make you question. We're trying to ask you questions and put it onto you to empower you. Because while we have all the answers, and we're not trying to brag, it is just simply the case, it's just our position. We have the answers for your dimension because you are below us, and we can see things from a bigger perspective and neutral. We don't have all answers of the universe, it's just not possible. But we're here, masters and experts in your lives and in your density. And we're trying to assist you the best way that we can without actually pushing you and doing your own homework. You must be passing your daily tests. You may be getting tested often to see if you're going to be triggered and be disconnected and disbalanced. Find that you're holding on to the irritation more than your inner peace. You're getting faster at it for those who are wanting to master this, and we're very proud of you. We're scanning to see what else the vehicle was pondering recently. We feel like we've given enough information. But please trust when you perceive someone as different. It is a perspective. Find where your ego is and balance it accordingly. Trust people need different experiences in their lives. They've asked for different life contracts than you. Because what's the point of all having the same life contract and the same experiences? There must be variety. And as we reminded you before, some of you have already mastered certain things in other lifetimes, and you don't need to repeat them again. You have different ones, different responsibilities, different challenges. Trying to find unity by trying to find someone exactly like you will not be possible. So see what your expectations are, see what your perceptions are, and see how you can just finally balance that to be unique little special unicorns that we love and adore, and we want to empower you and embrace you, knowing that it's perfectly perfect to be you. And if you're still needing some adjustments to find your joy and your true, real, honest inner peace, we have provided you lots of suggestions and examples of how to use your perspective and your mindsets to get into that position. It's very attainable when you want it, and it's very easy when you apply it. And so, with much love, go give yourselves jazz hands and joy. I'm sending you so much love.